Welcome, Pile 3. If you chose the Queer Tarot, then this would be your reading. To start off, we're going to talk about the back of the deck energy, which is the Emperor. And the Emperor talks about being direct with your feelings and knowing how to stand up for what you believe in. The Lover's card here, as many of you know, might talk about a romantic interest or relationship, but it can also talk about a choice. And this makes a lot of sense because of all these clarifiers here. You got the Tower, which nobody likes to see, especially when it's clarifying the Lover's card, but basically means that this romantic relationship, or whatever relationship this can be a friendship, partnership, some kind of business partnership, or some kind of project or whatnot, is coming to an end. And this can also be clarified by the Moon, because this talks about fears of the unknown. So this relationship or whatever it is ending can cause you to fear the future because you don't know what's going to happen next. It's clarified by the Five of Cups, which talks about it talks about breakups. So it's most likely a romantic relationship for most of you guys. This is like disappointment in a romantic relationship. And the King of Wands here, which clarifies, it talks about not being afraid to ask for help during this time. So, going on to the Queen of Swords, this talks about the Queen of Swords talks about learning how to have a good balance of using your emotional heart and your logical brain. You gotta learn when it's important to think logically about a situation and when to use your heart and have some compassion. This is a good balance you have to learn to obtain. Let's clarify about the Queen of Pentacles, which talks about long-term investments are encouraged over quick fixes. So if you just broke up with this person, you need to focus on learning to be more logical, to have a good balance of logic and emotion to help you get over this, and trying to have a rebound relationship might be a quick fix, but it's not going to help heal you and get you where you need to be in the future. Next up is the Three of Swords, which talks about letting go of heartache and disappointment, which goes back to all these, goes back to this whole thing. So basically, you got to learn to grieve this loss and just take your time and mourn so you can release this energy so you can move forward. This is clarified by the Seven of Wands and the Five of Swords. Seven of Wands talks about don't acting impulsively during this time. Like trying to have a rebound relationship, to try to get past this heartbreak. You need to take your time to grieve and focus on yourself at this time. The Five of Swords talks about dwelling on the past will keep you from moving forward. I mean, you need to mourn this loss, but if you stay in the past too long, you're not going to be able to go to the future and find bigger and better things, This relationship ended because you guys weren't compatible, or the picture, it might have looked nice on the outside. It might have been nice on paper, but the foundation wasn't strong, so the tower collapsed. If the tower is built properly, the tower will not collapse, but the tower was built on, it's kind of like a Jenga tower, After you take pieces out of it, eventually it collapses because the foundation is not sturdy. The only reason why this tower collapsed is because the foundation wasn't sturdy in the first place, So when you rebuild it, if you build it strong, it won't collapse again. Next up is the Seven of Pentacles. which talks about investing in long-term goals. Kind of like what I was talking about. When you rebuild this tower in the future, if you do a good job and make it sturdy, it's not going to collapse. So you invest in long-term things, and you might not see progress early on. This is a long-term process. It's kind of like when you water a plant. If you water a little bit each day, you might not notice that it's growing very much, but over a long period of time, you can see the difference. So this might be, putting a little bit in savings every week from your check, like $10, $20, not very much. It don't seem like you're really saving that much, but over a long period of time, that's a lot. Like if you save up $10 a week, that's $40 a month. And if you do that for 12 months, that's, oh no, I'm trying to do math. 12, 24, 36, 48. That's 48, $480 a year, which I mean, it's not a lot, but it adds up. And if you put it in savings, it also gets interest and stuff. But the point is that do a little bit at a time and it'll add up in the long run, even though it doesn't seem like you're actually accomplishing anything. This is clarified by the Wheel of Fortune, which talks about divine timing, destiny. This was meant to happen for a reason, probably because you were supposed to learn a lesson. Maybe you realized that this partner wasn't compatible with you because of some bad trait that they had, or maybe it has something to do with you having to learn something so that you can show up to be a better version of yourself, or maybe both. Sometimes what you think you want and what you need is not the same thing. So maybe you learned that you thought you liked this kind of person or had this kind of trait or whatever, but then you realize, oh, I really don't like that, or I don't really want that. It's not as fulfilling as I thought it was. But it also talks about good luck being on your way. So that's nice. But the thing is that the Wheel of Fortune also talks about ups and downs. Life is full of ups and downs. Even in a very satisfying relationship, it's not going to be perfect. There's always going to be highs and lows. And you got to learn to enjoy the highs while they're there. And when the lows are there, don't focus on the lows. But just know that the bad times will end at some point. You just got to weather the storm. Last up is the Queen of Wands, clarified by the Chariot. The Queen of Wands talks about being confident and comfortable in your own skin. You gotta like who you are and show off your confidence, and as a result, you're going to attract people and opportunities. Things that you want. But with the Chariot clarifying it, that talks about trying to connect with people that show the same energy as you. Being confident in yourself and showing off your true, authentic self will help you draw in the people and the opportunities that what's the word? That align with your truths. You gotta be your true self in order to draw in what you truly want, and that reflects to you on a soul level. If you're trying to be someone that you're not, you're going to attract people that aren't good for you or aren't right for you because it's not what's aligned with what your true self wants. And this is clarified by the Nine of Pentacles, which talks about what does it talk about? It talks about that's right. It talks about abundance. Abundance. So if you be your true self and you show your confidence off, this is going to attract people and opportunities that you really want in your life, and you'll have abundance. But you also, like, when it comes to money, like, it's good to celebrate, but don't be wasteful. It's kind of like when if you win the lottery, you're like, oh, I got all this money, I'm abundant. But if you go out and just buy everything without thinking, oh, I need to put some of this up in savings or whatever, or I need to invest some of this money so it can make more money. If you just go out buying everything, eventually it's going to run out, and then you're going to be where you were before you started. You got to be mindful. You can celebrate, but just don't go overboard. So, pile 3, what you need to hear now is that even if you're having this breakup and you're going through this tough time, it's so that you can learn these new lessons, so that you can attract the people that align with you and the opportunities that align with you, so that you can have abundance in the future. So, this is kind of a tough love message, but everything's going to be okay. You got this. You're just gonna gotta get through the hard times so you can get to the good times, you know? And I hope this helped. If you guys did, I hope you leave a like, subscribe to the channel when new videos come out, and I'll see you next time for our next reading. Hope this helped. Until then, take care, everybody.